Now we're going to look at our last type of sequence, which is a recursive. All recursive means is that you take the one previous and you either add to that or subtract from it. So that's pretty interesting. See what you think. Okay, here's an example. These instructions on page 236, the instructions for these would say to write out the first 6. So a sub 1 will always have to be given to you in a recursive formula because you have to use it to do the second one. So here you would have, if you want a sub 2, you're going to take this formula and plug in 2 for n, so it'd be a sub 2 minus 1 plus 3, which is really just a sub 1 plus 3. Well, since a sub 1 is 7, I'm just going to substitute 7 there, which gives me 10. So a sub 2 in this case is actually going to be 10. Then when I get ready to find a sub 3, that's going to be a sub 3 minus 1 plus 3, which again I'm getting from this formula. So that would be a sub 2 plus 3. So I'm taking a sub 2's answer, 10, and I'm adding 3 to it, which is getting me 13. So then a sub 4 is going to be a sub 3 plus 3. So that would be 13 plus 3, which is 16. A sub 5 would be a sub 4 plus 3, which would be 16 plus 3, 19, and then a sub 6 would be a sub 5 plus 3, which is 19 plus 3, which is 22. Okay, so my answer would actually be 10, 13, 16, 19, 22. Okay, so you kind of get the idea. Why don't you just pause the video and work B on your own. I'm sure you'll be fine with it. And you can bring me questions tomorrow, though, if we need to. Now let's look at C. It's just a tad bit different in that it's multiplying. So this would be like a geometric sequence that we're creating. So in this case, a sub 2 will be 2 times a sub 2 minus 1, which is 2 times a sub 1, which will be 2 times, since a sub 1 is 1, I'll substitute that in, and my a sub 2 would be 2. So then when I go to a sub 3, that would be 2 times a sub 2, which is 2 times a sub 2 was 2, so there I get 4. A sub 4 would be 2 times a sub 3, so it'll be 2 times 4, which is 8. A sub 5 would be 2 times a sub 4, which is 16. And a sub 6 would be 2 times a sub 5, which is 32. Okay, so again, that's how you list the first 6 terms. And now on page 238, you have, we're going to have to start writing the equations for these. So you have 2 equations for recursive formulas. Notice that the n minus 1 here and here are sub letters, so they should be below the A. In an arithmetic sequence, you still need the difference. Oh, excuse me. And in the geometric one, you still need the oh my gosh, ratio. I'll slip my mind for a second. All right, so in this question A, we have to first figure out if it's arithmetic or geometric. And in this case, it looks like we're adding 10, right? Yes. So a sub 1 is going to be 3, and the difference is going to be 10. So I'm going to set up my rule as a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus the difference, which is 10. And there's my rule. Okay, and the next one, I don't see anything as a common difference, so I'm going to try a ratio. So I have 40 over 16. Let's see if I divide by 8 and reduce that. I have 5 over 2. So what I want to do is make sure that that is consistent or constant. So that would also be 5 over 2. And then let's just do one more. 250 over 10 over 100 would be divided by 5. Would also be 5 over 2. So I feel like my ratio is 5 over 2. So that formula, if you go with this one right here, a sub n is going to be the ratio times a sub n minus 1. And that again will work for any n. So now is where I want you to pause and play. Pause the video, get your answers, and then come back and look at the work when you're ready. So go ahead and pause now. And here are your answers for 1 through 4 in the workbook. What I want you to do for tomorrow is to bring me questions that you might have run into. Also notice that in number 2, instead of using a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, they're using f of 0. That means the function at 0 and then the function at 1 and the function at 2. But it still worked the same way. So take these answers, see if you can fix your errors that you might have had, and bring me questions tomorrow. Have a great evening.